Welcome to the DIVALUTION, a show to empower, enlighten, and entertain divas and those that love us. And here's your host, Deb St.Hilaire.
Hey, it's finally spring, I think. After those horrible storms, it's been really nice today. But I think we're going to get some more rain, but that's okay because April showers bring May flowers. Isn't that right? So we are going to have a really good show tonight. I'm so excited about it. Two of my favorite people are on this evening as my guests, and it always just makes it more fun. And our topic is overcoming fear, moving on, and where to draw strength from. Ooh. Yeah, that's intense. Don't be afraid, though. So my guest this evening is Beth BRYCE.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fabulous.
So I'm so happy that you're here. Every spring break, we should make it a tradition that you come in.
We should, because spring is my calendar period when I always go through some kind of rebirth and renewal, right? Relationships, jobs. I always do huge shifts in May.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Yeah, so that is a good time. Mm-hmm. Exciting stuff. And one of my other favorite people is CHANDRA Jewel from Indigo Moon Photography.
Hello.
She's our sponsor spotlight this evening. And she has the studio right next door to mine, and she's done some rebranding here lately that we're going to hear about later. So thank you for being here with us, Chandra.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I want to wish Dr. Julia Deere, who is one of our show hosts and a sponsor. She is the host of The Passionate Pundits, and it's her birthday tomorrow. So we love her. Happy birthday, Dr. Julia Deere. And another good friend of ours is Jamie LaPratte Lopez, and her birthday was, I think, last week. And so happy birthday, Jamie. So, Beth.
Yes.
You are, I think, a very fascinating person.
Wow, thank you.
For so many reasons. Besides what you do, just your personality is just really cool and open and approachable, and I don't know. I just think you're really special.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. So why don't you tell us what you want us to know about you?
What I want the listeners to know about me.
Yes.
Okay. So I think the most important thing is, it's taken me a long time. I'll be 50 this year. This is my special birthday this year, right? Yay. I know. So,
when is your birthday?
August 27th.
Ooh, that sounds like a party to me.
Mm-hmm. So every month up until August 27th, I'm celebrating on the 27th. So I celebrated March 27th. I'll be celebrating April 27th. And so that just means I get cake every month and a wish every month, right?
Ooh,
so
nice.
I have to say, though, so I had a 20-year career, highly successful career in accounting management, working with Fortune 500 companies. And 5 years ago, I walked from that and have been focusing on career coaching and transformation for people. And I have to say, I've lived 10 lives in the last 5 years. It is just so absolutely rewarding, incredibly rewarding when you figure out your passion and your purpose in life. At the end of every day, I beg for one more day, just because of the people that I've met and the stories that I hear and the changes that I've seen in people. It's so rewarding. And that's what I want for every single person, that they finally connect with their passion and purpose in life. And what I find is it's usually fears that are holding them back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So what is the name of your coaching company?
It's Girls to Women Coaching. You can access my programs and read more about it on BETHBRYCE.com easily enough. Yeah, so...
Very good.
Yeah,
so
thank
we'll give you that again. I mean, it's not that hard to remember, BethBryce.com. But Bryce is kind of a tricky spelling.
Right, with a Y.
Right, BRYCE. So make sure that you look her up and check it out. So what do you think, where does fear come from? Why does it even begin?
Well, that's a fantastic question, but because I really wanted to focus on helping people align with their purpose and passion. I think the first thing that people need to understand is that everyone has fears. Highly successful people have fears. The difference between highly successful people and people who are stuck is they still blow through their fears. I'm not saying that your fears will ever disappear, but they can dissipate and be reduced. But that's a good thing, a healthy thing. I say, you should have a little bit of pee running down your leg. If you're getting ready to do something big. And if you don't, then it's not big enough for you. It just isn't. That's really from Yolanda Van Zandt. I heard her speak in Detroit.
Oh, and I love her.
She said that. I was like, that's exactly right. So
that sounds like her, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's healthy fear. That's healthy fear. And so...
And if you weren't afraid, it would not be normal.
Right. So it's just like how you said in the beginning of the show, accessing, what are some strategies you can do? What are some things that you can access and help you manage your fear, right? We're talking about managing our fear, not
right.
I really don't think there's anything such as fearlessness. I really don't think there is. Otherwise it's just too comfortable.
Maybe little children. Little children are fearless.
Yeah. You're just not stretching big enough if you're not afraid. So, I'm not interested in those working with those kinds of people, right?
Right.
I want the people who are scared and have pee running down their leg and they know that they want something bigger and they've been stuck and help me, right? The 4 hardest words in the English language or anywhere are, can you help me? Can you help me? Right? So we do not have to do this alone. But what I really wanted to share with everybody, because it's a perfect framing, right? To get cracked wide open. So when you say, okay, I'm ready to face my fears. I'm ready to make some shifts. I always start with this amazing poem called The Invitation. And I love to read it for your listeners.
Please.
Is it okay?
Oh, yes.
It's just some parts of it because it's a long poem, but it's by Oria, who she's been on PBS and Oprah, and you can go to Oria Mountain Dreamer.
ORIA?
ORIAH. Yes. Okay. It's called The Invitation. And so I thought, well, this was really fitting because we're talking about inviting ourselves into exploring our fears and making some shifts, right? So we're at this place, we're teetering on a cliff, we're saying, okay, I'm going to crack wide open and I'm going to move forward, right? So this is the message that I would love to speak to those where you are at, those people. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for.
Ooh.
And if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. Doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself, and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments, the invitation. Right?
Oh my gosh,
Isn't it
love
beautiful?
that.
Right. This is what it's about,
It
right?
is.
I'm afraid, you're afraid. We're all afraid. Let's just
Do it.
yeah, just crack yourself open. It's okay. It's called being human.
That's right.
Right?
Oh, that was beautiful.
Right.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
So, as a coach, people come to me and people come to you for careers and so much other stuff. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the major fears that I run across is, what if I'm not successful?
Mm-hmm.
What if I do this and I fall flat on my face?
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to that?
Well, I'll tell you what I think at the heart of fear, the core of fear, is the fear of losing love. That is always the core of any fear. So when you say that, when you present it that way, what if I fail? What if I fall flat on my face? Because what will people say? They won't love me anymore. They won't respect me anymore. They won't. It always gets back to the loss of love. Any fear, I don't care what it is, I will always challenge it. And if you realize that you are loved, regardless, it helps you move forward.
That's actually brilliant.
It's very comforting. It's very safe, right? And so there's an exercise that I have people do. If you'd like me to walk,
Please.
Yeah, walk through it.
Please.
Yeah, it's called, there's other ways of looking at it, but it's called the inner critic and the inner hero or heroine, however you want to say it. Now, it could be called the dictator, inner critic, that negative voice in your head, the itty bitty shitty committee. Whatever you want to, the monkey mind, whatever those negative voices are in your head, right? So step one, right? Because when I work with people one-on-one, typically we carve out an entire day. If you can imagine, like spending a whole day with me, 8 hours straight, right? Deep dive. It's like, wow. It's so funny because people always say, I was driving here and I was wondering, what are we going to talk about after 2 hours? Right? But it's a full day, believe me. And it's a lot of really, really, really good work. My best work. This is what I love to do the best. And so in the morning, we do this inner critic, inner heroine exercise. And so we start with the inner critic. And this is what you do. So, I would ask your listeners, I want you to just close your eyes and describe what your inner critic looks like to you. Okay? Think about, maybe it's fuzzy, the gender, what clothes they're wearing, what do they have in their hands, if anything, height. It could be an animal. It could be something, right? The point is try to identify it and give it a name. It's really important to give it a name, right? So I'll give you an example. So my inner critic his name is Slick, right? And he looks like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, right? He's like, leathery face and brown and just, a poor little Smeagol looking type thing, just wicked, and he's always, saying things like, you can't do that, you're, what are you thinking? You're crazy, things like that, right? That's too big. That's too risky. And those are the things that he says. So now I have a vision of what he looks like. When I hear those voices in my head, I can have a conversation with Slick, right? And so now I've actually given it body sense, and it's not just voices in my head. This is Slick talking to me, okay? And believe me, you're still sane, okay? You're still sane. And think about, so this is a great journaling exercise. What are some of the things that you would say to your inner critic? What would I say to Slick, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. There might be some, cuss words or